I'd like to shut him up. Andy Ruiz Jr. reveals the boxer he wants next. Andy Ruiz names 3 men on his list on who he wants in his comeback, and who the Destroyer says he's been trying to get into shape. He's been working hard in the lockdown. And we'll talk about the 3 fighters in order from third to first on who he wants on his list. He says Anthony Joshua would be third. He obviously wants Joshua. He said he lost to Joshua, so he wants that third fight. It was 1-1. He'd love to have a trilogy, but he says it's quite unlikely as Joshua has Pulev to defend his titles against. The next one is obviously Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, he said, has lost to Tyson Fury, but is still a former world champion. Tough guy. Oh, he's not that tough, but he wants to fight him and test himself as he was a former WBC world champion. And interestingly enough, number 1 on his list is Dillian Whyte. Obviously, they've had well-documented clashes on social media, but it says he'd like to shut Dillian Whyte up. He says that would be an amazing fight here in the United States or over there. I know I can win. I feel I can win, and against everybody. It's up to me if I'm in shape, but I can definitely beat Dillian. I want that fight as well. Obviously, Dillian Whyte's got his fight against Povetkin, which he needs to think about. But yeah, that's through Ruiz. What's my thoughts on that? Well, it's interesting to see that out of all the champions, he wants Dillian first. I mean, I think it's a more realistic fight in terms of Joshua soundly beat him. I know he wasn't in the best shape, but Joshua soundly beat him in the second fight. So he knows he needs to work hard to beat Joshua. Maybe not too hard in terms of the game plan is still there because he won the first fight, but he knows he needs to do better. Obviously, Deontay Wilder is his second choice. Just lost to Tyson Fury, so he showed some vulnerabilities. They got the same promoter. So it's an in-house fight. It's easy to make, which makes sense why it's second on the list. Dillian Whyte being first, not surprising. They've been arguing on Instagram and social media for quite a while now. I mean, Andy did decline the fight. They sent offers to Andy and he said no. I think he wanted more money. But it's a fight that he still wants in the future. I think it's a great fight. It's definitely an entertaining fight. It's a fight where both guys like to swing, particularly Andy likes to fight in the pocket. I do think Dillian will fight a bit like how he fought against Oscar Rivas. Give up the double jab, but definitely go to the body and not go to Andy's body. Because we know there's a lot of flab there, so he'd definitely be shaking. But it's a great fight. I mean, Andy Ruiz has been working hard. I've been seeing a lot of his videos. He's been training. He looks to have dropped a bit of weight. Not too much, but he looks to be in much better shape as he was against Joshua in the second fight. So he's stripping down. He's still enjoying his life, still spending his money, but he's definitely, he definitely wants to get him to shape, and he definitely wants to compete. There was talks of an Ortiz or Brazil comeback, which is 2 great fights for him, which I still think he's going to have. But after his comeback fights, he has revealed that he wants Dillian Whyte first. And obviously after that, once he believes he can beat Dillian Whyte, he will go for the top guys. I think it's an interesting fight. I think it depends what Andy turns up. If it's a fully fit Andy, when I say fully fit, I'm talking about 250 pounds. If he's lighter, that's even better because he'd be quicker on his feet. I reckon it's a very hard fight for Dillian, and I'd say Andy would be the favourite, and I'll probably be picking Andy to win if he's in shape. But Dillian Whyte has the assets to beat him. He has the longer reach, the double jab. He's got a great counter. It's going to be interesting to see who can counter whose punches first, because both are great counter punchers and both have got explosive punches. I think Andy's is faster, so he'll get his punches off quicker. But if Dillian connects with, Andy's got a good chin, but if Dillian connects, then it's definitely lights out. So it's a matter of, I don't know if I see this fight going the distance. I think it'll be if it does go the distance, it'll be definitely a war. and it'll be a tough fight. And if it does go the distance, I think it'd be a very close fight. Definitely won't be a shutout. But let me know what you guys think. Ruiz wants Ruiz wants Dillian White next. He definitely needs to fight some warm-ups before he fights Dillian. And I don't see Dillian, Dillian's got Povetkin issues right now, and then he's got potentially Tyson Fury issues. So it's not going to happen anytime soon, but in the future, you never know what happens. It's heavyweight boxing. It's still an interesting fight, and it's a fight that will definitely be pay-per-view, will sell no matter what happens. Andy's got 2 losses, but it's a big name, and it's still a big draw because he beat the first man to beat Joshua, and that's going to stay with him for a long time, no matter what fights he gets. So let me know what you guys think.